Hi guys and welcome, Gnembon here with a video about simple and efficient mob farms for skyblock type survival mod packs. You might be questioning yourself why this topic, as making mob farms in modded is generally a very simple task. But I've been quite surprised recently watching several Sky Factory 3 playthroughs, providing me with so inefficient designs. I thought to myself, let's bring back some basic paradigms of good mob farm design from good old vanilla Minecraft, some basic spawning rules, and check what we can do using basic resources playing Sky Factory 3 mod pack. The cool thing about Skyblock is no need to prepare any perimeter, and the fact that all the land has already been removed, including the bedrock. So the first rule for any good mob farm is to go down, not up. In Skyblock world, nothing restricts you to go down. All the players I've seen build their mob farms at their base level or way above. Natural spawning will spread across all Y values below your farm, and most of the spawn attempts will simply be gone. To get low, drop a bucket of water at the edge of the platform, check your Y level you are standing, and take only that many blocks because this will be a suicidal mission. Drop down slowly with the water stream and build a tower down across the water stream so you could easily place down ladders next time. When you are really low, you can see that the water stream is ending. Just drop down next to the pillar. This will create a gravestone with a dirt at Y0, which you can use to create your walkways and farms at the very bottom of the world. Making sure that your farms are the lowest it can be ensures that you minimize the failed spawn attempts because they are below your farm. Second very important rule is to build low, within the first subchunk with the topmost not transparent block at or below Y14, and absolutely nothing above it. This will concentrate all the spawn attempts in the lowest subchunk which contains your farm. Continuing to build your farm higher to increase number of spawning spaces will only decrease chances of mobs to spawn in your farm, not increase it as you might think. Don't use fall damage, especially in modded, where you have tons of different options how to get rid of the mobs without losing height. Here I'm using stone spikes, which are cheap as dirt, actually even cheaper in this case, so I can kill the mobs at the same level as they have spawned. But you can use whatever spikes or whatever method you have available in your mod pack. Don't use solid blocks, especially at feet levels. Solid cobblestone blocks are cheap to obtain, but placed at feet level close to the spawning spaces, they will actually void the attempts that start in these blocks. All mobs pathfind towards solid blocks. Making sure that you don't use them within 10 blocks out of the farm will make them not use their AI to wander about and ease your efforts to channel them where you want and kill them. It is especially important with spiders, which in the other case would just start climbing the walls. Pack spawning will use spaces from around the farm to increase spawns in the farm area as well, providing the algorithm can actually start on the outside and it is concentrated around the same low Y values as your farm. If you build all your farms within the first subchunk, all the area where the void is actually using only the bottommost chunk for spawning, so you are fine. But if for some other reason you need to build higher, slap extra space around the farm to let your game know that you want it to start spawning here as well. So let's see 3 mob farm designs I have here today. First is a very basic one with one spawning floor expandable to a larger size. I use pretty much only cobble related materials. To block the light axis I used cobble stairs, so non-solid blocks. The only parts that require more than a cobble are the lever, the mob fan which uses only iron and a piece of redstone, with 3 width upgrades which each one uses 11 pieces of aluminum. All of those materials you can get from sifting. Vacuum chest which you can use for item collection requires an ender pearl, but if you build your farm without it and just collect the loot manually, you should get a pearl really quickly and add this vacuum chest at the end. This farm has only 35 spawning spaces, but produces about 5,000 items per hour, and this before we even open the loot bags. And as you can see, we have here all mobs available to spawn, including endermen and spiders. This design can be later easily expanded with extra spawning layers, if you really feel like this was not enough. I squeezed here 4 of them, and the farm ends at Y13. For the floor I cut down a piece of cobblestone using a diamond bit saw. This forms a surface that is spawnable, but you can use 3 high spaces to enable enderman spawning at all levels. All mobs drop down and get killed on the spikes at the bottom, while spiders get killed on the spikes in the front. Mobs at the bottommost floor are pressed against the spikes and killed this way. Again, the only materials you really need for it is more cobble and 3 more mob funds, and you'll get 22,000 items per hour, and this before even you open all the loot bags. And all of this from just 140 spawning spaces. At the end, you can replace cobble walls with something transparent and cobble with dirt, and then plant a single grass seed from sifting dirt on the top layer, and you'll get yourself an efficient passive mob farm. Now, passive mob farms don't yield too many drops by default, but trust me, this is most we can squeeze from it. Since here a roof was not necessary, I managed to squeeze 5 spawning layers, all with the first sub-chunk, and upgraded a bit mob farms to have a higher reach. You can do the same with other farms as well. You can double them, put them side by side or facing each other. Just for God's sake, don't put them on top of each other. At the end, let's see more visual way how fast mobs spawn in these farms. So that's where your efficient mob farm designs for skyblock type modpacks. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you haven't done it already, and see you back in vanilla next time. Bye bye!